How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Abyss. Before we get too much further into this video, I just want to go on record stating that I do not own the music playing in the video. So, I know how YouTube feels about bringing up anything to do with a particular virus. And I'm sure this video is going to get flagged. I'm sure it's going to get taken down. I'm sure I'm going to suffer some kind of penalty for it. I honestly don't care, because I will re-upload the video. If you deactivate my channel, I will make a new one and re-upload it there. I will plaster this on Facebook if I have to. I don't care. Because now shit has gotten completely out of hand. Shit has gotten completely out of hand. I have a question, a serious question for everyone. Where the fuck was all this panicking when swine flu was the latest epidemic that killed tens of thousands of people? Where was all this panicking with Ebola? Huh? Don't worry, I'll wait. And Ebola was placed in the same category as the fucking Black Plague. Matter of fact, if I remember correctly, they said, and I quote, Ebola is the new Black Plague. But yet nobody panicked over it the way they're panicking over this fucking coronavirus bullshit. Why is that? There weren't stores sold out of shit. There wasn't a sudden spike in toilet paper, paper towel, hand sanitizer, rubbing alcohol, and anything else you dumbasses are buying. There was no sudden spike in all this shit. Businesses weren't shutting down. 24-hour stores didn't all of a sudden have hours of operations where they fucking closed and opened up. Restaurants didn't suffer from the shit. Public events such as, I don't know, sporting events, for me, Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments, wrestling, none of that was canceled, or none of it was closed to the public. Let me tell you something, when I tune in, and I am an avid wrestling fan, I grew up watching WCW, to this day I still watch Monday Night Raw, I'm now watching AEW, I watched Impact back when it was good. I am an avid wrestling fan. I try not to miss a show. But when I tune in to watch what I am a fan of, and the arenas are empty, and you still have your superstars performing, let me tell you something, as a fan, that is depressing. That is straight up depressing. That is one of the most depressing sights I've ever seen in my life. If not the most depressing sight I've ever seen in my life. When I tuned into Monday Night Raw this week and saw an empty arena, yet they still tried to have the show. When I tuned into AEW, saw an empty arena, yet they still tried to run the show, I immediately changed the channel. Because it wasn't the same. That is, again, the most depressing thing I've ever seen in my almost 30 years of being on this godforsaken, doomed little rock. Now, who do I blame for this? Well, first off, I'm a conspiracy theorist. You should already know who I blame for this. Especially since the evidence has supported the claim. I have been saying since day fucking one that this was another government-engineered fucking virus. And I was right. It might not have been from the American government, or so they say, but it was still engineered by the government. Now let's think about this for a second. Now, I'm sure I'm going to catch heat for this. I'm going to get called a Trump supporter. I'm going to get called this. I'm going to get called that. If you know me, whether it be in person or if you've listened to any of my fucking rants before, you know I don't support politicians of any level, in any way, shape, or fucking form. So no, I am not jumping on the Trump bandwagon with this shit. I am stating a fucking fact. We've heard it for months, if not the biggest part of Trump's fucking term, that there's been issues between the United States and China. China went on record stating that they would be sending the the United States a gift. They will not know when they get it, but they'll know when. I'm sorry, they won't know when they'll get it, but they'll know when it gets there. Hello? All of a sudden, this virus is out running rampant, and apparently it's going global. Funny, I don't recall Ebola doing that either. Now let's take another look at the statistics here. There are more survivors, quote-unquote survivors, of the coronavirus than there are deaths. The death rate for this fucking virus isn't even at a 4. And yet everybody's panicking over it. Ebola had a much higher death rate. Nobody panicked like this over that. Swine flu had a higher rate. No one panicked over it. Hell, if I remember correctly, even chickenpox and the measles have a fucking higher death rate than this fucking shit. But everyone's panicking over it. Everyone's running around like chickens with their fucking heads cut off. And on behalf of my fellow conspiracy theorists, we find it fucking hilarious. Because we are sitting back, literally kicked back, watching the brainwashed masses lose their fucking mind over this shit. Then it comes out that, oh, it was transferred to a human from an animal. In most cases, a human can't catch a virus from an animal. Somehow, this was able to. Now, when I initially heard this, I'm like, okay, maybe a chimpanzee because their DNA is so close to ours. When I saw it was a fucking bat and it looks like a fucking fruit bat, I was like, how the fuck? But nonetheless. So, we're in amongst this whole panic. Stock markets are up. Everything's going fine. And then, downhill. Over a virus that has a smaller death rate than Ebola, and quite frankly, a lower death rate than ejaculation. Because you figure, you jack off, you clean your hands, everything. You just killed a few million babies right there. So, again, ejaculation has a higher death rate than fucking Ebola. But everyone's over the coronavirus. But everybody's panicking over the coronavirus to the point where you've bought out toilet paper, paper towels, hand sanitizer, rubbing alcohol, alcohol pads. Now you're buying out baby diapers, baby food, baby wipes, cat food, cat litter, dog food. Like, seriously. First off, to those of you out there who are eating dog food and cat food, I think that's fucking hilarious. That alone gives you the fucking Academy Award for dumbest motherfuckers on the planet. But no, you continue to freak out and panic And who do I blame for this? Do I blame the government? Not entirely. I blame the news. I've said it before. I'll say it again. The news is put there to keep people living in a constant state of fear, and it's there to create panic, and this is a grade A fucking example of that. Especially when they decide to start throwing out the exact numbers. Yeah, you're not trying to induce panic at all, are you motherfuckers? And it's gotten completely out of hand. Completely out of hand. Then I hear, oh, here in a couple weeks we're going to shut down all non-essential businesses. Okay, well that was about a week ago. None of the non-essential businesses are really closed, but whatever. Then I catch wind of an 8-week-long nationwide quarantine where people will be forced to stay in their houses for 8 weeks. There will be no jobs open, there will be no work, there will be nothing. To make matters worse, I then hear that police officers and armed guard will be patrolling the streets during that time to make sure everybody is following the rules. Allow me to break that down for you in a simple term called martial law, minus the home invasion. That's what that is. Now, as far as this whole thing goes, where they're going to try to issue out $1,000 paychecks, I'm down with that. Because it's about time the fucking government gave us back some of the money they've stolen from us. And then there's supposed to be like another $1,500 after that. Okay. Oh, now watch, someone's going to think I got the coronavirus just because I fucking sneezed. Motherfucker. There. Now you can think I got the coronavirus. My fake ass fucking cough. But yeah, I heard about that. I'm like, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, give us back some of the money you stole from us. If you're gonna lock me up for 8 fucking weeks, I'm using that money and buying shit that's gonna keep me busy for 8 fucking weeks. And I'm buying enough fucking nicotine to last me 8 fucking weeks. I had a co-worker tell me, oh, I'm gonna put that money back for a rainy day. Bitch, you about to be locked up in your house for 8 fucking weeks. What rainy fucking day? And that's a minimum, by the way. I hate to break it to you, but it is. Same person looks at me and says, what were you spend it on? Again, I have to stay entertained for 8 fucking weeks. Otherwise, people are going to get hurt. I have to have nicotine for them 8 fucking weeks. Because, again, people are going to get hurt if I don't. So let's see, I need a new PlayStation 4, 8 weeks worth of video games for the PlayStation 4 and my Xbox One with live access for both consoles. And 8 weeks worth of fucking nicotine. I don't care how many gas stations I gotta go to get it. Whatever's left, all this blows over, then I'll spend it. How about that shit? Then I catch when there's some people out there going, oh, if Trump isn't your president, make sure you refuse and deny the $1,000 when you get it. First off, on behalf of all us broke motherfuckers out here, $1,000 is $1,000. I don't give a fuck where or who it came from. Take me to the bank, I'll cash the check, and then I'm spending the shit. Okay? This this point, I'd be happy with $500 magically appearing in my fucking bank account overnight, just like, oh! You don't want the money? I'm starting a GoFundMe on that day for any motherfucker who don't want it. And I will legitimately put in there, for those of you who do not want the money that you received from the United States government and Donald Trump, please deposit it into this account and I will make sure it gets put to a good use. Again, on behalf of all of us broke motherfuckers, we don't give a damn where the money comes from. We're just happy we got it. Because it might be the last time we see whether it's directly put into our account, which, by the way, is illegal for the government to do, or on a check. It might be the last time some of us broke motherfuckers see $1,000 in our lifetime. By the way, I'm referring to us broke motherfuckers who are broke because of bills. Not because they went out and blew it on dumb shit. Now, am I gonna blow that $1,000 on dumb shit? Fuck yeah, I'm broke. I gotta spoil me, motherfucker. I might help out put some food in the house, but I'm spoiling my ass. So, bite me. But again, all this chaos, all this panic, and the news does nothing but make it worse. Every time the news airs, it's worse. For fuck's sake, it gets worse. I don't get it. I don't get it. We've single-handedly, overnight, given the government complete control of the entire country. Sorry, you idiots have done that. You rolled over and just let them take over. While people like me are still fighting against them. And I don't get it. I don't get it. I know it's a cover-up for something much bigger. Much bigger. And there's a couple of theories as to what it's covering up. We don't know for sure. Especially since one of the theories is coming right around the end of April. For those of you who are too obsessed with this panic mode that you're suddenly in, towards the end of April, there's supposed to be a massive meteorite that comes incredibly close to Earth. How do you keep people from noticing? You already create a panic. And like I said, there's a few other theories. We're not sure which one's true. But we know they're out there. And I've heard a couple of different things. I've heard that the epidemic is expected to last till the end of April. Really? Then I've heard it's supposed to last till sometime in August. It's not going to last till August. If it does, I'll be surprised. It's going to literally, much like it states in, I believe the book is called End of Days. It's either End of Days or the End Times, one of the two. As the guy put in that book, he mentions a virus that will come along suddenly out of nowhere that attacks the respiratory system, that will disappear as fast as it showed up. And he stated that would be in 2020. Here's another thing I want you people to keep in mind. Back during Ebola, okay, the whole thing at the time, and this, what I find interesting is this was a cover-up that was done in plain sight. And you people still didn't fucking suspect anything. Obama. Obamacare. Funny how Ebola comes along in the early stages of Obama trying to get the bill passed for Obamacare. And then as soon as it gets approved, Ebola magically vanishes. Magically vanishes. Never to be heard from again. I'll go a step further. I don't know how many of you remember this, but the volcano that erupted in Hawaii just a couple years ago. The hottest thing, literally the hottest thing, no pun intended, but fucking pun intended. The hottest thing on the news that time was the volcanic eruption in Hawaii. The mass panic and evacuation of the island that this volcano's eruption caused. As if it was suddenly and out of nowhere. And then, almost overnight, there's no more word of it. They just suddenly stopped. It was like, poof, bitch, be gone. And there's several people that if you bring this up, they don't know what you're talking about. And it's actually gotten to the point now where it's become such a distant memory, which is weird because it only happened a couple of years ago. It's a fairly recent event. But there's people who don't even remember it until about the time you state the timeline. But again, it just vanished. It was as if the volcano said, okay, I've raised hell, now I'm just going to shut up. And I'm going to make all you shut up at the same time. I don't know what more evidence you people need. It was the same way with swine flu. I don't even remember what the fuck was going on behind the scenes with all the shit with swine flu. But as soon as the behind the scenes shit ended, swine flu disappeared. It was the same with the measles. Measles was the hottest topic for a solid maybe month and a half. And then just out of nowhere, poof, bitch, be gone. Viruses don't show up and then magically disappear. Volcanoes don't start erupting and then just magically stop. So you have to stop and ask yourself, what's really going on with the coronavirus? We've already heard that China's refusing to release all of their data. Now we hear Russia's refusing to release all of their data, and I'll guarantee you that there's not one body of government in this fucking country that has released all of their data. Here's the other thing. Now I'm going to bring up West Virginia. West Virginia, I'm going to have some fun with you now. West Virginia, the only state in this entire country with no confirmed cases of the coronavirus. But yet, West Virginian state government has gone on record stating, and I quote, we have, what was it, something like 500? Sounds about right. 500 kits to test for the coronavirus. But we do not have the proper means of testing. Hold up. You just said you had 500 kits, but now you're telling us you don't have the proper means to test? But somehow you've magically tested 48 people who all came up negative. But to further this, we know we have people in the state of West Virginia who have the coronavirus, but we have no way to test for it. Teacher, I have a question. If you have no way to test for said virus, then how do you know you have people infected with the virus living in the state of West Virginia, you stupid fucking Illuminati dumb fuck? That would be like me trying to tell you people, hey, I'm skinny as hell, meanwhile you can see me and tell I'm fat as fuck. Bunch of fucking idiots is what you are. I don't know if you saw it. I did. I saw the nice little like that popped up. I find that interesting. Huh. Funny how I mentioned the Illuminati's name one time, then all of a sudden there's a fucking light. And I don't like how my speakers just cut out. But, either way. So, again, you want to panic? Panic. All you're doing is helping them. That's all you're doing. Either way, I'm going to sit here with a big ass bowl of popcorn, plenty of drink, a few things of nicotine. I'm just going to kick back, relax, and watch the madness. Because it's fun. It's funny. I can't change your minds. But there's one thing I do ask. I simply ask that you dumb fucks wake up.